Another thing I did in my extremely lucky career of almost being able to make a living as a performer
Come on.
is a lot of studio singing, a lot of work in the studio. So that would either be singing on records or singing demos for songwriters or doing jingle singing, for example. That's something I did a lot of. I've also narrated books that we listen to, books in the car all the time when we do these road trips. Let's see, I've done voiceovers for commercials. Anyway, I've done almost everything you can imagine doing vocally, and again, I did jingle singing, the songs that are in commercials, and I did a lot of it. And it's really stressful work because you have, you get there and you have like 5 minutes to kind of learn it and go in the booth and sing it like you've been singing it your whole life, and put down some background vocals and then get out of there because they always come up with this stuff at the last minute and everybody wants it yesterday. And but I was good at it. I was quick and I was good at it, so I did a lot of it. And in addition to it all sort of being very fast-paced and very stressful, there's always like an advertising executive sitting in the control room, like kind of monitoring everybody and making sure it's salesy enough and all that. And he'll always lean into the microphone there in the control room and say something to you over the headphones like,
Hey, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Okay, do you like
Yeah,
it? Good.
that's beautiful. Hey, let's
Great.
do it again. I missed the
Okay.
cherries on the top. I didn't hear them. I didn't hear the cherries.
The cherries on top?
Yeah, you know.
Okay, sure, yeah, roll it again. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Cherries on top. So you do it again. Oh, I know what you mean. I'll do it again with cherries on top. I'm so sorry. Right, it's my bad. What does that even mean? Anyway, I had already started writing songs by the time this had happened, and I was in love with these songwriters, Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Sean Colvin, Suzanne Vega, all of these poets. And this was not that. I was into the poetry of lyrics. This was not that. This was selling stuff. And sometimes it was a little inane, a little silly, and it was hard to keep a straight face. For example, this is one I sang for a supermarket chain in the Southwest. I know there's one in Texas, and I've been to one in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and somebody said on all our tours, somebody said, oh, I went to one in Arizona, and so it's called Furr's Supermarkets. A little far from here, so probably no Furr's Supermarkets here. No, okay. Furr's Supermarkets. You've got a friend. You don't need to shop around. You've got a friend. Things are better now that you found. Every day, in every way, somebody's on your side. You've got a friend in the business first. I swear to God, that was the jingle.
Could be a hit.
It's very commercial sounding till the last word.
Furs.
Furs. And another time I went in and sang for Mattel. I mean, I did tons of these, but one time I went in and sang for Mattel for a product line called Precious Moments, I think it's called. And it was a really pretty song. I sang the song, and I was done. I did my 5 minutes with the cherries on top and all that, And the producer asked me if I would stay and just read really quickly the script so that they could cut that up and put it in the music so that the music director would know, like, where does this go in the commercial? Because that's what the people who were going to be in the commercial that you saw in the commercial on TV were going to say. And I said, sure. So I did another couple minutes, and I read the mommy part and the baby part, and he read the daddy part, and a little announcer thing, and before you knew it, I was out of there. But I got to thinking, you're starting to see that our lives are kind of like either a scene out of Spinal Tap or or maybe like a Saturday Night Live skit sometimes, or an episode of I Love Lucy, particularly when I'm driving. But in any case, I got to thinking that maybe they would have been so pressed for time, like they always are, and they might have asked me to do it all at the same time. Read the script, sing the jingle, and the cherries on top. Might have gone something like this. wrong, baby. I don't want to have a birthday without my daddy. Time flies by and soon she's 5. Daddy had to go to Chicago, honey, he'll be back. You're so far away. But it's my birthday, precious moments mean so much. Look what Daddy sent me.
Happy birthday, Jennifer. Daddy loves you.
Daddy's voice, love will find a way. Precious moments, now with recordable voice, so you can be there even when you're not. Batteries and accessories sold separately. Precious moments, love will find a way. Entirely too silly, right? Gotta get it all in there.
Get it all in there.
Gotta get it all in there. But all my studio work wasn't crazy and silly. And by the way, I was very grateful for all that work because it kept me doing what I wanted to do. But in 1997, Sony Music called me and asked me if I would come and sing with Celine Dion on a song that was going to be on her new record. I think it was called Let's Talk About Love. And it was coming out the next year. And I was just delighted I'm going to go sing with Celine Dion, so I got very excited. It was also going to be in a movie because I don't know if you remember, but I certainly did. I was aware of the fact that in the 90s, it seemed like you couldn't go to a movie without watching the credits and there's Celine. Like she did over the credits, they call that closing credits or whatever they call that. And so this was going to be that kind of thing too. And so
was this story about a boat?
Oh, the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was about a boat.
A really big boat.
Yeah, it was a movie about a really big boat. But the point is it was going to be on her record too, the brand new record, and I was really excited about that. And I was supposed to go in and sing with her. I was scheduled to go, and I was very excited to go in and sing with her on this song, and work with Walter Afanasieff.
I'm thinking there's an iceberg involved in this too.
Yeah, there was an iceberg in the movie too. Yes.
Okay. All right. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Good. I sang with Celine Dion on "My Heart Will Go On," the love theme from Titanic. It was a pretty big song in the 90s. And it was in the movie. I sang with her on the version that was on her record. And in 1998, I was very humbled to be able to accept a Grammy Award, along with Celine and Walter Afanasieff, the producer, and David Gleason, the engineer, and all the other amazing musicians who worked on the record for Record of the Year. Wow. And I was just blown away. That was such an important thing for me. So we knew we had to put it in this show. But again, I didn't really want to do it the way it had been done because Celine is famous. Celine did Celine, and kind of turns out that Celine does Celine better than anyone does Celine. So like, why do Celine? Like, she's got that covered, you know? So I said, Case, let's do something different with it, just like we did with Memory. So we worked for it. I think we worked on it for like 9 months or something. We were just back and forth. We worked almost every day. And rehearsing and working, and we tried all kind of different feels, and I was like, no, I don't feel this. I don't feel this song. I just don't feel the song. And I said, one day I got very exasperated, and I just said, I can't help but think, what would Ava do? Because Ava Cassidy, I don't know if you guys know Ava Cassidy. You do. If you don't know her, like, go look her up tonight. I don't mean that flippantly. I mean it like, do yourself a favor. She's an amazing singer. She was only on the planet for like 30 years, and she's no longer with us. But she never wrote her own songs. She always did cover songs. So she always took these songs, and you'd hear the song, and you'd hear like, and you say, go slow, I fall behind, the second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look, and you will find me, time after time. And you think, didn't somebody else sing that? Somebody sang that, didn't they? In other words, she really reinvented all of these songs that somebody else had made huge hits. And she made them her own. So Casey said, all right, give me a couple days, I'm going to go and immerse myself in Ava Cassidy. And he came back one afternoon and said, hey Les, listen to this. And he played this. And I just cried. And I said, that's it. Because all of a sudden, I could absolutely see it and hear it. All of a sudden it was like, why stop? All of a sudden it was like no longer a big anthem. It wasn't Celine's version. I thought maybe we could make this one almost like a prayer to a lost loved one. Every night in my dreams, I see you, feel you. That's how I know you go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you show you go on. Near or far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open my door and you're here, and my heart will go on and on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime. Never let go till we're gone. That was when I loved you one true time. I hope to in my life we'll always go on. Near or far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open my door and you're here in my heart, and my heart guys.